Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weishuttle. Doug?
Busy week?
Yeah, Tyson Fury came through for us.
Yeah, I know. It seems like
what a great fight. Wilder-Fury was such a great fight, and I guess the
public betting was on Wilder.
And,
and Fury came out and basically did his job.
I got to be honest with you. I like Fury because he was the underdog. I liked the numbers I got for him because I went with William Hill, and they had Fury at plus 115, which at the time was a great number, so I jumped on it, and I had plus 130 that the fight would go under 8.5 rounds, and I won on both of them. So great fight.
I did points bet,
okay,
and they had some great promos there, different options and promos for the different rounds and all that stuff, and TKO, KO, all that stuff. Sports books everywhere were, probably did well because, again, betting public really went Wilder. A lot of the books were hoping for Fury, and I think they got their wish.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a Wilder-Fury Part 3 coming up. I guess
for the weirdest reasons. What is it? He's saying he was wobbly when he came in because of his
he had an option.
Costume?
He had an option in his contract anyway. He had 30 days to approve of a third fight. But no, the excuses he's giving is very interesting of why he lost.
The costume he was using
was 45 pounds. And
in celebration of Black History Month was a little too heavy for him, and he should have known that before getting into the ring. I mean, it's his costume. He should have known about it.
Well, we have a great show coming up. Coming up is part 2 of my interview with Matt Rybaltowski. We're going to review the NBA All-Star Game and the betting that was going on during the game and the how it affected the new format of the
which
game.
Was interesting.
Very interesting. We're also going to preview March Madness. Great interview from Matt Rybaltowski from Sports Handle and USBets.com.
And Better Collective.
And then we're going to have the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we talk about what's going on in the sports books across the country. And we're going to have a Turnpike Sports By the Number section, so that's always fun. But right now, it's been a busy week in sports, and let's take a trip down the Turnpike. And today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Okay, I guess we can start saying the NFL is inching closer and closer to sports betting.
Well, yeah, I think, and they're certainly inching closer to where you can place bets in the stadium. We're not there yet. I mean, I guess it's down the horizon a bit.
I think you got to credit the XFL with goosing them a little bit.
Maybe.
Because the XFL broadcasts all mention gambling all the way through it, and they even have the spreads and totals up on the scoreboard.
I love the fact they have the live lines, too, as they go through
They're
the
starting
game,
to do that now,
how
too,
they're
yeah.
changing. Yeah, it's interesting.
But the NFL has announced that teams had already been able to do casino sponsors.
Yeah.
And up until last week, they were not allowed to handle sports betting sponsorships. But now, new change in policy, teams can now sell official sportsbook sponsorships to the different sportsbooks out there.
Okay, good.
Now, I don't know if the teams in the non-legal sports betting states can do this. I don't know if it makes sense for them to do this.
Yeah, I don't even know why they would, but yeah, maybe. Who knows?
There are 21 states.
I'm not a marketer, so maybe that's a marketing ploy. I don't know.
There are 21 states with sports betting legislation on the books.
All right.
Being considered. And I don't know how many more are going to pass it in 2020, but one of them is Ohio, which has 2 teams.
All right.
Cincinnati and Cleveland. So I guess it makes sense in terms of some of these teams having a sports betting or a sportsbook sponsor all ready to go.
They can probably do a deal but not display it yet. I would think if it's not legal in the state, they probably wouldn't be able to put it everywhere, but who knows? I don't know.
What's considered legal? Because a lot of these books are doing market access deals.
Okay.
In these states. But the other part of all this was certain stadiums are going to be allowed to have sports betting lounges.
I'm curious about what the limits of these sports betting lounges are. I'm assuming they're not going to have betting windows, right?
No betting windows, but it's all mobile betting.
Okay, all right.
And it's only in the stadiums that are in states with legal sports betting.
Sure, makes sense.
So that'd be New Jersey, definitely. Pennsylvania. New Hampshire doesn't have anything. Mississippi, no, not really. What else?
Now, this is just for NFL stadiums,
these
right?
are NFL
this is
stadiums.
not college or anything like that, right?
Indiana, the Colts will have one.
Yep, maybe. Who knows?
Not too many teams are going to be able to have the sports betting lounges right now, but you never know coming down the road.
Well, down the road, yeah, they're going to have them.
Exit 2.
Now, a 22-year-old Harvard grad, and this is for our eSports exit here today, has launched his own amateur eSports company for adult gamers.
All right.
Now, this isn't porn, not adult gamers.
This is
full-grown working adults who don't have the time or the ability to spend all day playing games.
All right.
This is a venture-backed company called lowkey.gg. Now, .gg,
I've never heard of a .gg.
It's a domain name used by a lot of esports and gamer companies. It's a shorthand for good game.
Oh, okay.
Which is what all the gamers say to each other after a game.
So it's called lowkey.gg, and it's for, not full-time gamers.
Let me put it this way. From the description I'm seeing, workplace adults, 9 to 5 people, or people who work in an office that can't spend all their time in front of a computer other than doing work. I mean, this is for people who give adults a chance to compete against other adults of similar skill levels without any prize money.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
So it's not really gambling. It's not really an esports tournament. It's for a lot of people who have different varying levels of degree. I mean, usually you see these esports things where there's one kid that's incredibly adept at it.
Yeah, and he gets a shoe deal or a
An
wardrobe deal,
all that
apparel
stuff.
deal, or something like that.
Gets a drink deal or something. And
so that's not for him. This is for people 9 to 5 jobs who want to get esports into their life, kind of thing.
Right. And part of the company, Low Key, he created an algorithm which matches adult gamers who have full-time jobs that aren't in the gaming industry with a similar level adult who are in the same position.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little bit of matchmaking in terms of who's going to play who.
Skill levels. He's matching skill levels, right?
Yeah. And they've already launched one tournament in January, and it was only $39 to participate in. It's really not for pro gamers. It's for the amateur, varying skill level people. So Harvard grad came out with this company. It's all venture backed already, so he's doing good for himself right now.
Great.
Exit 3.
Now we're going through this cheating scandal.
Okay.
For the Astros,
MLB, okay,
and Major League Baseball, and I don't. These cheating scandals aren't going to kill it, but what the Oakland A's are doing might be the start of killing some of baseball's appeal into the masses.
Well, interesting. Why? What's going on?
The Oakland A's have decided to forego their broadcast radio partnerships.
All right.
Yeah, baseball on the radio, they go hand in hand. The first game of, I did a little research, the first game on the radio, August 5th, 1921. KDKA broadcast a game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's how long baseball and radio have been hand in hand.
Okay.
Oakland is now going to go away from broadcast radio and going streaming only.
That might open up new audiences, though. I mean, certainly the older crowd. I mean, look, I listen when you say radio, I don't listen to the radio. I listen to my phone. I listen to Alexa now. Now, I think this is probably, you can hear it on Alexa, I would think.
Yeah.
So it's not really, when you say broadcast radio, it's old school broadcast radio, but you still have the same effect, especially with the speakers and your phone and your tablets and smart TVs. So
now, what's not
amazing,
clear?
so.
What's not clear here, and you just brought up an interesting point. What they're saying is laptop, desktop, smartphone, or other mobile device will be required to hear their broadcast. Now, will they be making deals with their broadcast radio partners just to do streaming channels for them?
Who knows?
I mean, that's not clear in all this, but they're basing it on what's going on with the Major League Baseball's streaming broadcasts. MLB TV streaming service had an 18% jump in its paid subscriptions. And MLB at Bat, which is their app, the Major League Baseball app, had 2 billion unique visitors.
See, those things are great because if you're out of the market and you want to hear your team, you have that ability now.
Well,
and I think it's great with the Oakland A's.
They're getting some feedback.
Good.
And some of it's negative, some of it's positive. The negative ones are the people who want to listen to it on the radio and don't have internet access at the time. If they're sitting in their car, they don't have internet.
Well, but you can now also plug in your phone to your car.
Well, what if the phone has no signal?
That's true. Okay, I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, so there's some downsides to
I'm
this,
sure there's going to be some growing pains. With any innovation, there's a growing pain, so that might be it. But I think it's a good move.
No, everything's going digital anyway.
Sure.
Exit 4.
Not only do we have the NFL incorporating sports betting some way, somehow into their games, Major League Soccer is now opening up the doors to sports betting.
Will they have patches on their shirts? Because they have a lot of patches on their shirts.
They just did, DC United did a deal with Caesar Sports. So there's a Caesar Sports patch on the sleeves of DC United.
Oh, that's cool.
But right now, they are going to be the first major pro sports league in U.S. and Canada to permit companies in the sports betting and also spirits, liquor categories to include their brands on Major League Soccer jerseys.
Oh, that's cool.
They're going to have the...
Now, if I buy a soccer jersey, does Caesars and whoever liquor is patches on there, do they get a little chunk of that jersey sale, or who knows?
Who knows?
Okay.
That is not incorporated into some of the releases for the deal. But you're going to see either sports betting or spirits on the front of the jerseys, sleeve patches, and the sleeve patches are coming up for this year, beginning 2020, for the 2020 season. The sports betting stuff is, both are going to be available, but only the sleeves are going to be available for this upcoming season. Next season, they're looking at incorporating the front of the jerseys. Now, both of them, since there are age restrictions on sports betting as well as liquor, people who want to buy the game jerseys from the online stores, they're going to be age restricted.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting. All right.
If you're under the age of sports betting or if you're under the age of the alcohol consumption, some states allow sports betting at 18.
Yeah, I think New Hampshire is you can place
18.
a sports bet at 18, but you can only drink at 21. So it's
unfortunately, New Hampshire does not have a Major League Soccer team.
Yeah.
They don't have much other than sports betting. But, if you're under the legal age of either of those, you're not going to be able to purchase a jersey with those sponsors on them. I mean, I'm assuming some areas are going to have jerseys where you can get the sports betting logo but not the alcohol, because sometimes the sports betting is lower age than the alcohol.
Sure.
So you might see a sports betting jersey, a non-sports betting, non-alcohol jersey, and a sports betting alcohol jersey all for sale, which increases revenue because it's multiple apparel.
It's getting complicated now.
Yeah. So they opened up whole new doors, and let's see how it does.
And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And to get in touch with Turnpike Sports, 609-512-5910 is our call or text line, at Turnpike Sports on Facebook or Twitter. Email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the show through Pandora Podcasts, the radio.com digital app, iTunes. iHeartMedia also distributes us. And you can watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com and just click on the TV button.
And coming up after the break is part 2 of my interview with Matt Rybaltowski from Sports Handle, USBets.com, and Better Collective. And then later on in the show, we're going to have the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we talk about what's going on in the sports books across the country. And then after that, we have the Turnpike Sports By the Number section. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. Pennsylvania has set a state sports betting record for the month of January. The Commonwealth Sportsbooks had a record handle of $348.4 million in January, resulting in a revenue of $22.8 million. 89% of those bets were placed on the state's 8 online sportsbooks. The Oregon Lottery, which runs the state sports betting operations, is expected to announce a loss for the state. According to the projection for the state's first 9 months of its sports betting program, Oregon will lose $5.3 million. One of the reasons for the projected loss is the upfront cost associated with the development and marketing of their sports betting platform. And finally, the NFL has announced that it will be allowing sponsorships from sportsbook operators as well as sports betting lounges in select stadiums. The lounges will be placed in stadiums located in states where sports betting is legal. However, these lounges will not have betting windows. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports.
Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
I love getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant. And insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day. If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation.
When I called, they asked me a few questions and matched me with a powerful lawyer who knew how to fight for me.
Call now. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-613-4611. 800-613-4611. 800-613-4611.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Dave Weishuttle here, and as promised, here's part 2 of my interview with Matt Rybaltowski from Sports Handle, USBets.com, and Better Collective. You know, another huge sporting event that happened was the NBA All-Star Game. I think by all accounts it's one of the more popular All-Star games that were out there, and I think the NBA did a great job in creating excitement around it. I know it was a big hit with fans of the NBA, but was the new format and scoring system a hit with the sports bettors or the sports books?
Yeah, a few sports books offered those type of micro bets where you could bet on the total of points for the first, second, and third quarters. You could bet the spread on those type of bets. I think the books should be commended for suspending a few bets in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. With the new format and the elim ending, because it was just impossible to come up with a projected total for the fourth quarter, and then what the spread would be as well if Team Giannis hit the 24-point total in the quarter there. So I was following it in real time, and a few places had so they had money line bets, and the money line fluctuated as the quarter wore on. Team LeBron they were a pretty big underdog going into the fourth when they were down 9, and then once they approached the 157 target, then they moved to a favorite, and they needed one basket to win, and at FanDuel, they were a minus 550 favorite there. So, yeah, for sure, it was really exciting to monitor all the in-game fluctuations as the fourth quarter transpired.
You know, I was curious, especially the way it ended. The first thing I thought of, because it ended on a free throw. I mean, how did that affect the bets? I mean, was that something bad for the sports books? Was that something good for the sports books? Ending on a free throw, it never occurred to me that it would end like that. You know,
PointsBet had a really cool prop before the game started on the player that would be the last player to score in the game, and I wonder the same thing, that if they meant a field goal or if a free throw accounted for that. And I checked in with PointsBet for confirmation afterwards, and they said yeah, it was a free throw was okay. They accepted free throws as the last basket of the game, and they set Anthony Davis at plus 700 to score the last point, and LeBron was the favorite at plus 400. So you could see as his team was going through that final play, it looked like LeBron wanted all the glory, and he wanted to take the last shot, but then he noticed that there was a mismatch down low, and I think Kyle Lowry was guarding AD, so he fed the post there. But for the people who bet, say like $100 or even more on that wager, they lost a lot of money there by LeBron's decision to make the pass instead of taking the last shot.
I got to tell you, it was one of the more entertaining All-Star games that in recent memory across any professional league. I mean, the players really seemed to be getting involved. When was the last All-Star game you saw that they took charges and they had fouls, and they're usually trying not to get hurt, but they were really going hard at it. I mean, it really amped up the excitement for the fans, and I was wondering, how did that affect the line going through the games, and was it a big win for the sports books, or was it a big win for the sports bettors? Yeah, well,
the players were definitely animated. Like you mentioned, there was that one play where there was a tie-up for a jump ball late in the game, and I think 4 players from Team LeBron got in the face of the officials and started arguing the call. So it definitely affected the spread. There was that one other play where Giannis had the block, and it looked like it was going to be a goaltend, and then the call was reversed. For in-game betting, a few places had to suspend their lines because had the basket counted, then Team LeBron would have had 156, and then the score was reversed back down to 154. So it definitely had an impact there. I haven't seen how the new format affected the handle yet. That might come out later this week, especially with some of those prop bets that we talked about before on betting on each quarter, what the total would be there, what the spread would be. You have to imagine that the trading teams factor that into the equation when, say, they were coming up with a game total based on the score after the first quarter and based on the score at halftime, things like that. But yeah, it's an interesting question to look at if the new format has boosted the handle or if the handle was about the same as it was in the last few years.
You know, another huge betting event that's coming up is the NCAA March Madness. I know this year's a little different from the others. It feels like that for me because the field just seems wide open. There's no dominant team right now. How much of a challenge is it for sportsbook operators to set lines when it comes to these games when there's no absolute dominant team in the NCAA?
I think it's going to be extremely challenging for them. Last night I looked at the futures book at William Hill, and there are around 15 teams with odds of 35 to 1 or less to win it all. And among that list is Butler, who's been on a tailspin lately. Mm-hmm. West Virginia is at 35 to 1, and they've gone on a long losing streak. So I think from a fan's perspective, they should look at some of these value plays there. Ohio State was 13-1 and number 2 in the country earlier this season, and they're at 50 to 1 right now. So there's a possibility that some of these teams, maybe they won't win it, but they could make the Final Four, and if they do, then fans could hedge their bet at that point. So that's something to look at. One bet type that was real interesting last year was a few places had wagers on the first team to score 15 points. Jay Rude, who used to be the sportsbook director at MGM Resorts, said that the book just got crushed on those wager types because there were a few high seeds. Iona in particular, they reached 15 before the Tar Heels did, and a couple of other 14 and 15 seeds did as well. It proved to be a challenge for the books on how to set the lines there because all these underdogs were able to keep up with the top teams in the country for the first few minutes of the game, and then they were blown out from there. So if the books set high lines on those teams again at say above plus 250, closer to plus 300 on those teams, there's a possibility that they could take a pretty big bath again.
You know, you touch on my next question. A lot of people tell me when it's challenging for sports books to set lines, that opens up a lot of opportunities for sports bettors to exploit some angles that the books may have overlooked. It sounds like, that might be the case this year. Is that correct?
I think for recreational bettors, they have to take a close look at three-point shooting percentages, both from teams that excel at shooting the three and defending the three as well. The NCAA moved the three-point line back a little bit this year, so the three-pointer has become the great equalizer in basketball, not just in college and in the NBA too. So that really opens up the possibility for some of these small schools to excel, and maybe we could have a year like 2011 where two mid-majors made the Final Four. VCU and Butler both did that year.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you that. Do you think this year is good for the NCAA? I mean, last year we had all these great teams that we knew were kind of going into the Final Four. We actually had a face of the league with Zion Williamson, but we don't have that this year. Is that good for the NCAA, or is it terrible that they don't have the marquee matchups that everyone's looking for? I'm thinking it could be a great thing for the NCAA for ratings, because they have that attitude of, hey, your small school that you represent or that you went to could go far in the tournament, so you should watch the game. So I'm curious to see what your opinion is.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for the NCAA, but if you just look at ESPN's ratings last year for Duke games when Zion played, they were through the roof. So I think the NCAA is really looking for that future NBA star that they could showcase, and it probably wasn't much of a secret that they were rooting for Duke to beat Michigan State in that Elite Eight game when they ultimately lost. But since we're talking about sports betting, that's that's the ultimate driver for ratings in the tournament. So no matter who's there, if you're near the top of your office pool, you're going to follow the Final Four no matter what. If Zion's there, or if there's a star from a small school like East Tennessee State, ultimately, you just want to win your pool.
Yeah, and I was wondering, since a lot more states have legalized sports betting, I'm curious to see, and I'm very interested to see how that affects the ratings going forward, especially with, all the schools have a chance to win, Yeah, just across the board, because viewers have so many options now with live streaming and Netflix. I think sports in general is down, but that's kind of deceiving. It doesn't mean that interest in viewing is also low because of that. There's not a correlation there. I think fans are still viewing sports at record levels. It's just it might not be reflected in TV ratings. Matt, we're running out of time, but I want to give you a chance to tell everyone where they can read your articles and how they can follow you on social media. Yeah,
thanks. So it's on sportshandle.com. We're one of the top sports betting sites throughout the country, and it's an exciting time for us because the legislative season is drawing to a close. So we've had constant updates over the last few weeks, and then on Twitter I'm at Matt Rybaltowski. That's MATTRYB as in boy, ALT as in alt, OWSKI.
I want to tell everyone your articles on sportshandle.com are excellent and are required reading for everyone here at the radio show. So thanks a lot for putting out a great product. Matt Rybaltowski from sportshandle.com and usbets.com. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Money matters. Money always matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right. Money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. That's why we say money matters. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
We were being audited. We couldn't sleep. We called Tax Solutions Now.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-297-9788. 800-297-9788.
Turnpike Sports Book Report.
And the Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sports book. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, this book report segment, we've got a whole bunch of different states with some activity going on. First off, we talked about at the top of the show the fight, Wilder
Fury. Yep.
Wilder Fury 2.
Wilder Fury 2.
Most of the books reported they did well.
Well, yeah, because some
of the different promos and offers got hit hard. But like the TKO KO one I mentioned at the top, they got PointsBet said that one was hit hard by all bettors. Mm-hmm. So certain books had different results from the different offers they were having, but a lot of the books did well on the fight overall.
I got to tell you, or listening to all the pregame jibber jabber of all these experts out there, they were all over Wilder. But they were all over a knockout, though. So they got one part of it right, but they got the wrong fighter that they were backing. But no, it was interesting.
Well, the one thing I always look at with boxing is you really can't tell. And also the coming in with the Patsy Cline song for Fury and then the karaoke at the end was kind of interesting. So it was kind of an odd fight night anyway.
He's got a pretty good voice, by the way.
Very good voice. Going over to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has set a sports betting revenue record handle. Boy, I'm having trouble speaking this morning.
Wow, congratulations to Pennsylvania. Yeah, no, they had a great January.
They had almost $350 million in handle, revenue of just over $31 million. It was interesting because everyone was pointing out two things. The Super Bowl was brought into the January numbers, just like Jersey's was.
Yeah, I guess everyone placed their bet, I guess, a week. The Super Bowl was what, the second or the third or something like that?
Second.
So a lot of people I put my bet for the Super Bowl in January, so It was a couple days beforehand.
Well, I actually did a couple in January, a couple right before the game started too.
Sure.
But again, Super Bowl inflated a little bit. The other thing that people were pointing out this January of 2020 was the first time no new sports books opened up in the state, whether retail or mobile.
Interesting.
And they still did a bang-up job.
Yeah.
Let's see. DraftKings still was behind FanDuel in betting handle. FanDuel had a $153 million handle in January of 2020. DraftKings grew its handle 63% over December at the end of the last year.
It sounds like online was the king, like in New Jersey.
About 90%.
90%. Wow. Okay.
They were a little higher in mobile than Jersey was.
Okay,
Jersey was about 86%.
Well, Pennsylvania is a big state, and a lot of these sports books are far apart. I mean, really far apart.
You know, everyone talks about New York going to New Jersey. I wonder how much Ohio is affecting Pennsylvania.
I don't know.
Because there's a lot of people from Ohio who want the sports betting in that state, and they're not passing it yet.
There's a couple books right in Pittsburgh, which is very close to Ohio.
Yep.
So, you know.
And especially now with the mini casinos coming, you never know if they're going to have some mini sports books there with them.
Sure.
Over in Iowa, DraftKings went live. They now have 5 mobile sports books in that state. That it's the 6th state for DraftKings for an online sports book. But still, the one thing that a lot of people are complaining about is you still have to physically go to a casino to register.
So I guess you have to fill out something. Is it a physical?
No. You
piece of paper.
You can do the app, but you have to complete the registration physically at the casino. You have to do something with a teller.
Okay, so yeah, this is interesting. We should talk to someone who actually has to go to. I guess you fill it out, the questionnaire or whatever you have on your phone.
You just register. You just register.
You just register. You don't have to deposit anything.
No.
At that time. Okay.
You register and you complete the registration process with the teller at the casino.
Okay. All right.
So
which is weird.
But for DraftKings, there are DraftKings. You can go to any one of the 3 Wild Rose casinos in Iowa. So there are 3 different locations to do it. That probably makes it a little easier.
Sure.
But moving over to Oregon. The Oregon Lottery, which is
I don't understand this
the
whatsoever.
scoreboard app.
Yeah.
That's what they created. Took them forever to roll it out. And they kept doing testing. They kept doing marketing. They kept doing other adjustments to it. Basically, everything pre-launch screwed up their projections.
Money-wise, you mean?
Money-wise.
Money-wise, okay.
They will be releasing a report, if they haven't done it already, by the time this airs, that for the first fiscal year ending June 30th.
And they've only been around for 9 months, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They will be expecting over a $5 million loss for sports betting in the state. They had projected...
Boy, talk about growing pains.
Well, when they first did this, their projections, which basically sold everybody on the app and got it moving a little quicker, but not really that quick, they had projected $6.3 million to start with in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting that.
Nope, probably not.
They are now...
Oh, definitely not.
They are now going to be $11.5 million short of where their original projections are going to be.
All right.
So, and that was because of all the testing, all that stuff.
I'm sure it'll catch on.
At some point, yeah. And also, they're seeing that there's not as much interest in sports betting in Oregon, which I found very interesting. Indiana, BetMGM just received authorization. They went live on February 25th. They're partnered with Belterra Casino in Indiana. William Hill in Michigan has announced that they have a market access agreement with the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians. They're going to be doing a retail book with Turtle Creek,
okay,
and a satellite book in Leelanau Sands Casino, northern Michigan. They're expecting to open the retail book prior to the 2020 football season. And last but not least, we have Colorado. Colorado has already issued 7 sports betting licenses. They're master sports betting licenses. Basically, those are the casinos that are going to be able to have the skins for the online casinos.
Well, it looks like things are moving in Colorado.
Yep, they Cripple Creek, the Brass Ass Casino.
The what?
The Brass Ass Casino.
Okay.
Double Eagle, J.P. McGill's Hotel and Casino.
Do you have a spelling for that? Wait, where is that?
Brass Ass, just like it sounds, Brass Ass.
Okay, all right.
J.P. McGill's Hotel and Casino, Midnight Rose Hotel and Casino. That's all in Cripple Creek. That's 4 of them. Black Hawk, they have the Monarch Casino, Saratoga Casino, and also in Central City, the Dostal Alley Casino. So 7 licenses came out, 7 master licenses came out. They're set to launch May 1st. And according to the new regulations that was passed, the Colorado Limited Gaming Control Commission, which is the name of the gaming commission, will be governing how to do and what kind of bets you can place. So that's what we got for this week's round of book report.
And the Turnpike Sports Book Report was brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sports book. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and 20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Stick around, because after this, we have the Turnpike Sports by the number section.
Very painful by the numbers
section.
Yes,
I know. I have a feeling I know what's coming up. But stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at BeanGenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to BeanGenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE. When it comes to online sports betting, PlaySugarHouse.com offers players one of the best experiences in the state of New Jersey. They offer live in-game betting on sporting events worldwide, moneyline bets, point spreads, prop bets, play-by-play bets, and many more. All at PlaySugarHouse.com, your new home for sports betting in New Jersey. Take advantage of one of their 12 easy deposit methods to get in on all the action. And now when you sign up at PlaySugarHouse.com using our promo code PIKE, they'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And the Turnpike Sports by the Numbers is sponsored by William Hill Online Sportsbook in New Jersey. Sign up at William Hill in New Jersey using promo code PIKE150 and take advantage of William Hill's best promotion to date. You'll get $10 free cash just for registering, plus a first deposit match up to $150. That's promo code PIKE150 at William Hill in New Jersey to get $10 free cash and a $150 first deposit match. William Hill Sports Betting, America's #1 sportsbook. Get in the game, New Jersey. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org.
All right, and welcome to Turnpike Sports by the Numbers, where we let the numbers tell the story.
Yep.
And this is a very interesting story, this first one. The number 18.
Yep, I kind of figure I think I know what this means.
This is the number of stitches needed for the Brigham Young pole vaulter who tore his scrotum in a pole vaulting attempt.
Yeah, apparently his dad had a video of it that he posted online.
Well, his dad is also his coach.
Okay.
So he was filming the practice to help him learn, to improve his...
I think he found some things to work on, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's very... I've seen the video.
Yeah, I have too.
It's a TikTok video, and over 5.5 million people have already watched it because he submitted it to the BuzzFeed. And BuzzFeed is showing it everywhere.
Apparently, he made it over the pole, the top of the pole, and on his descent, the pole where he was using to launch with was falling down. Yeah. On the other side, and he met it on the other side.
The pole met him on the other side. Yep. Just the image of a guy falling.
He cleared the bar, and then the pole...
But just the image of the guy falling out of the sky onto the pole is just makes chills run down my body.
God.
His father, not only is he a coach, he's also a urologist, luckily.
Well, yeah, no, that's good.
So, he took him to the hospital, and just a gruesome story to talk about there.
Let's move on.
But he's actually a good pole vaulter. He has the 10th best pole vault in Brigham Young history. Oh. And he told BuzzFeed, and this is a direct quote, "I could see right into my scrotum."
Okay.
So
I did not need to hear that.
I should have actually had a zipper sound effect or something there. So, and now the feel-good story of the year, 42. Is the
number
next
42,
number.
huh?
42. That's the age of the Maple Leafs emergency goalie, David Ayers, who's also the Zamboni driver for the Maple Leafs minor league team, the Toronto Marlies. He came into the game. He was the emergency goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes, who were playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, what happened was the first goalie, Carolina starter James Reimer, was knocked out in the first period with a lower body injury. Mm-hmm. Backup, Peter Mrazek, was knocked out in the second period in a collision with his own player, Toronto forward Kyle Clifford. So both goalies, starter and backup, got knocked out. So according to NHL rules, the emergency goalie, what do they call it? E-bug?
I didn't know there was a term for that. It's called E-bug. I was like, why? What's E-bug?
Emergency backup goalie.
Yep, E-bug.
And according to NHL rules, he's available for either team.
All right.
So Carolina was down 2 goalies. They needed the emergency goalie. They brought in the Zamboni driver.
I got to tell you, it's the feel-good story of the month. It's really great. I mean,
it could have been a lot worse because the first 2 shots went in.
Yeah,
and
no,
then he
but
stopped the rest of them.
Yeah, he stopped the rest of them, and he won. So it was really great.
He helped the Hurricanes go to a 6-3 win against his own teams. So I guess he's employed by the Maple Leafs.
I have no idea. It's a really I didn't.
I didn't know you could be an emergency goalie for both teams.
I'm starting to find out about emergency goalies now. So interesting.
But also, it was
great story.
Oldest age. He was the oldest player for his major league debut for hockey. So 42-year-old. Congratulations, David Ayers. I know his wife had some good reactions on Twitter. Everyone was talking about, especially after the first 2 goals went in. So. Congratulations, David. You did a great job.
And the By the Numbers was sponsored by William Hill Online Sportsbook in New Jersey. Sign up at William Hill in New Jersey using promo code PIKE150 and take advantage of William Hill's best promotion to date. You'll get $10 free cash just for registering, plus a first deposit match up to $150. That's promo code PIKE150 at William Hill in New Jersey to get $10 free cash and a $150 first deposit match. William Hill Sports Betting, America's #1 sportsbook. Get in the game, New Jersey. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org. Well, that'll do it for this week.
Everybody enjoy the betting that's going on this week. I know we have the Combine going on, too.
Got the Combine coming up. I guess we're going to know a lot about certain people's futures.
Is this the unofficial tampering period?
No, I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of discussing about players' future over beers or dinner or lunches. And
a lot of tampering.
So, a lot of tampering. So should be interesting. Should have some great news for next week. And we'll see you next time on the Turnpike.